Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. So I just kind of want to go through my little mobile mechanic loadout. I've gotten here lately to this summer where I've been doing more mobile mechanicking work, helping people that are stranded, or if I got the home driveway loaded up with stuff, waiting on parts, I can go to the customer, still knock out some of the easy jobs, get them done, make some money. And sometimes people are just stuck and they can't bring the vehicle to you easily, and you can save them a tow bill if you can do some of the easier jobs right on site. So this is how I do it. This is how things have evolved. They've changed a little bit. It started out as just like an emergency toolbox, and it's kind of grown from there. Okay, so this is kind of how I have things organized. I have a lot of like jumper cables and stuff over there. I got my main toolbox here with some gloves, some wipes, different things like that, and my tools, and we'll go through that. I just kind of have my box set up. I got some pictures of my wife and son in there, and my wife and son riding the Woodstock Express at Kings Island. Got my Power Probe sticker there, my Erico self-made auto sticker, because there's sometimes on the weekends when I'm working out here, is this like my workbench and toolbox. It's kind of my business area for, it might be 8 hours a day or more. So I kind of like to personalize it up a little bit. One thing I have here is my computer, which it wants to install something that I'm not going to install right now. But basically, on this computer, I'll kind of zoom you in. So what I like is the netbook size computers. Tablets seem to be a little more popular these days, but I kind of like this just because it's small, but it still has a full touchpad, a keyboard. This is a Lenovo, and I don't know the exact model number of it. I'm not sure. I think it's under the battery or something. But I basically got my BBB Industries, my Sylvania light bulb lookup, oil type lookups. It's amazing how sometimes people don't know what oil their car takes, and it doesn't say on the thing. You just look that up real quick. All my auto parts stores, AutoZone, Advance, O'Reilly's, so I can look up parts if I need to. I have my all data repair here. I have my Automate there. And then I have a little spot that I keep my Excel invoices at. So when I'm on the road, I'll usually do up the invoice, and then I can either mail a copy to the customer, or I can just go ahead and email them a PDF of it. And then I've got the software for my Handtech scope here, and I'm not impressed with the Handtech scope. But I also have my software for my other USB oscilloscope. Don't normally carry an oscilloscope with me, but this is the laptop I use for that. So normally, if I know I'm going to might need an oscilloscope, I bring it, but I don't normally carry it in the car all the time. But yeah, just other than that, it's your standard Microsoft Word and Excel. The ability to get on the internet, look stuff up, those kinds of things. So this laptop originally had like a little 160 gig hard drive in it, and I put a Mushkin Reactor solid state 512 gig drive in it, and that made it really fast, and made it so that I have plenty of room to keep all my software and stuff on there. So luckily I'm a computer guy by my day job, so that's not a problem for me. The other thing is I do take MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and I just do that from my phone. I use this little application called Square. They have this little card reader that you can swipe a card with. This does not do chips, but all the cards that have chips have a mag stripe. So you plug this in. You can get a chip reader, but they charge you more for it. And you just pay a little higher percentage rate, like 1/4% more on the transaction or something, doing the swipe. So that's what I do. And then you just load up your Square app, and you basically can go in here and put in the amount that you're going to charge them, and you swipe the card, and They sign it with their finger, and you can email them the transaction receipt, and it charges you like 2% or something, and it puts the money right into my checking account. So that's a good thing if you're doing side mechanic work. You run into situations where people are traveling, they might not have the cash, but they have a credit card, and so this can get you paid right on the spot rather than having to wait. So usually once that vehicle drives away, you're not going to see your money. They haven't paid you yet. That's kind of the electronics. I have a little power inverter hooked up. It's like a little 100-watt one, and I run my charger for things like my phone. And then, whoop, my drill is a USB charger here, and my Force Harbor Freight light is a USB charger. So that's one of the things I like about this Black & Decker drill, is I can charge it right here, and I can leave it charging while I'm working. The laptop's usually kind of packed up and put away unless I'm using it. So we'll come up here and show you around the, come up here and show you the toolbox. So I keep my toolbox kind of strapped in with this blue Harbor Freight strap, which I'll go ahead and unstrap it here for you. I'll show you what I keep behind it. Oh, the other thing I'll show you real quick is I keep these two rubber pads here. These can come out. You can use one of them to kneel on to protect your knees, or the two of them together make a nice place to lay down on your back to get under a car on. So I got these at Harbor Freight. They're pretty cheap. I highly recommend some of these foam pads. I'll show you behind the toolbox. I'll slide that out. I got some magnetic trays and stuff on the side. Just, you know, cheap Harbor Freight magnetic trays. I've got my Craftsman drill bit kit here. I still use the crap out of this kit, and I don't think I've broken anything yet. A couple things I've gotten misplaced, or they're not, I should say they're not misplaced, they're just not in the right place in here, but that's my drill bit kit. It works really well. The handle's kind of coming off. Anyway, so behind my toolbox, if I slide this up and out, is where I keep some blocks of wood, and my trolley jack is back here for jacking up cars to get under them. And I have jack stands in the bucket. But I just keep that right behind the toolbox. So, I'll go through this bucket next and kind of show you some of the stuff I have in there. So in the bucket, I of course have the drill. I have a couple cans of R134. There can actually be good money, and if somebody has a real slow leak or something and they just want to top off, I keep that and just a hose. I have a couple of those handy. I keep a can of brake clean in here. This is just the Rule King cheapy stuff. I keep a really nice heavy duty set of jumper cables in here. Gotta have those. I keep this little tiny air pump for pumping up tires. It's not fast, but it does get the job done, and it's better than carrying a big air compressor around. I keep the BFH right here. This is the big hammer in case I gotta knock a ball joint loose or something. It's the jack handle. I've got my jack stands. I've got two of these Harbor Freight jack stands in here. And then I've got my funnel, which is just an oil can cut off. I've got a fender cover so I don't scratch up somebody's paint. Have a nicer car. I've got one of these great big trash bags in here because you can cut a hole in it on the sides and top and use it as a raincoat. And then I've got these other parts to the jack stands. So let me pack this bucket back up and then we'll continue. Okay, so some other things that I have tucked back in here is my Ryobi impact driver drill. I can do quite a bit with this little impact drill, believe it or not. And if I know I'm going to need a bigger impact, I bring my 1/2 inch electric impact with me. I got a 4-way. Again, if I know I'm going to be taking off a lot of tires and stuff, I will bring the impact driver and my wheel impact socket set. This is my tire foam, which is just for shining my tires. And then this is my power probe. As I've gotten to learn more about this power probe, it's a very powerful tool. I've diagnosed some things that I didn't think I would be able to diagnose with this, and it works really well. That's one of my primary electrical working with tools now. Eric at South Main Auto sent that to me a while back, and I've been wanting to do more videos on it, but I've been so busy working it's hard to do the videos. So let me move this stuff over. And so we'll kind of go ahead and go through the box here next. So just kind of like my real toolbox, I don't have a whole lot of like big expensive tools. I have a lot of Harbor Freight stuff and things, but I got me a set of Hardy's mechanic gloves. I keep some cleaning wipes and stuff. Mark Fox sent me these. I still use them just to kind of clean up a little bit if I'm real dirty after a job. I have my Actron scan tool. This is a real basic scan tool. It does some live data and stuff. I actually like it. It works really well for what it is, and I can troubleshoot quite a bit with this thing. Got some hex sockets, and I got some 1/4 inch drive sockets, which these are standard, and these are just other like assorted different types of sockets and hexes and stuff that don't fit on the rails. They're mostly just extras. There's a couple Atari 800 keys in here as well. I got some rubber gloves up here. I have more in the bottom. I got a couple of magnet pickup holders. I keep a roll of orange duct tape just in case I need some duct tape, and I keep liquid electro tape to seal up my electric repairs. This is kind of my most used go-to socket wrench here, which is just this Husky. Pulls out, goes in, 1/4 on one, 3/8 on the other. It gets the job done. Keep a Harbor Freight Pittsburgh pry bar in here. I just have a set of 1/4 inch drive sockets. Harbor Freight's in the back, and these are some that Mark Fox sent me in the front. They're Bergens. They've worked fine. I've been happy with them. Of course, I always say if you're snapping sockets, you're probably using them for something you shouldn't use them for. I do keep a little 3/8 extension here, just to have one up top. Got spark plug sockets. And then, you know, just a set of metric 3/8 strap sockets. And that's pretty much the top of the box. I should say I keep some of these up here. These are the Harbor Freight little blinky lights. They work as a light if you need them to. I also have road flares tucked over in the side with the spare tire jack here, in case I need to throw out road flares if I'm working on the side of a highway or something, trying to get somebody going. So we'll kind of go through the drawers next. I like to use these little iPhone boxes now to hold the tools. And I keep a little sandpaper and stuff under this box. But I got, you know, my little 1/4 inch driver. So this makes my nut drivers by mixing it with the 1/4 inch drive sockets. I got, you know, an air pressure tool, marking tool, more extensions, mirror, Sharpie. I got razor knife. I got like this little Gerber multi-tool. Just kind of all kinds of little stuff. That's where all my little adapters and stuff are too. Just down in there. It's got some Harbor Freight flathead and Phillips screwdrivers. You know, for cheap screwdrivers, these things really do work well. I don't have any problems with them. have a bigger Harbor Freight screwdriver here for prying on stuff. I've got just the one plastic trim tool here just to kind of get some stuff done on the road. I got the tire patching tools so that I can put a plug in if I need to. I got wire brush, a couple different Harbor Freight wire brushes. I got my Great Neck 3/8 drive, 1/4 inch body. This is good for getting to some of the tensioner, belt tensioners. Put a little bar on that, you can get them off. Got a little flat razor scraping tool. I got a chisel for scraping. You know, it'll work to get a gasket off if you need to use it. Got a 1/4 inch drive Husky ratchet. Got this 3/8 drive chrome vanadium bent ratchet. And I've got this Craftsman 3/8 ratchet. I might get another Carlisle ratchet to keep in this box now that I'm working out of it more and more. Let me put everything kind of back here. Okay, so here's the next drawer. Let's see what we're looking at here. So, I have a set of these. Are these Quins? Yeah, these are Quins. I have a set of these in Channel Lock too, but these are decent, nice cutters from Harbor Freight. I can set of real cheapy wire strippers, crumpers here. I'd like to upgrade these to the Stanley Proto. I got just a little cheapy, small Milwaukee tape measure. I got a little tiny hammer for tapping on things, Craftsman Evolve. I keep an electric outlet in here. I also have to do some little home maintenance things now and then, so family member or something got a bad outlet, I keep one in here. Got the scissor things here from Harbor Freight. Vice grips. I got some small vice grips. These are the big ones back here. You can see those. I got some long needle nose, some shorter needle nose. I've got the long bent needle nose. These pliers are just, they're important when you're working on something. You need a good selection of pliers to reach different things and work on them. A pair of slip joints. I don't know what brand those are. Those feel like nice ones. Challenger USA. I keep like a little cold chisel in here for hammering on stuff. And then I keep this little nail punch. This can work great as a little alignment tool as well. Yeah. Pair of needle nose pliers. Keep a filing the rust off of brakes and stuff. I got, you know, a pair of channel locks. You know, channel locks are something I always have in my toolbox, but I don't use as often as you think I would. And then I got this bar that I can slide over ratchets, and I can lock onto a wrench open end with this end and get leverage on it. And that's pretty much it for this drawer. Oh, I keep a C-clamp in here as well, just so that I can compress brake calipers with it. Alright, oh, I guess there's a, this is actually in the wrong drawer. This is a crescent wrench. So the next drawer down here is my wrench drawer. I'll zoom in just a hair. There we go. So this is where I keep a couple shop towels. I mostly seem to use sockets. I don't use wrenches as often, so I kind of put the extra stuff in the wrench drawer. So I got some shop towels. I've got some more gloves. I got a little bit of white wire. I've got a belt tensioner pulley. This goes on a lot of different GMs. And just all my wrenches. My wrenches are in here are mostly just cheapy Pittsburgh. It's a mixture of standard and stuff. I also keep these. I have two of these gear wrench ratcheting. You know, two different sizes, and they're ratchet and they're reversible. Crescent wrench, and then there's a smaller Pittsburgh pry bar in here. This is where I keep other just bits and pieces. I got some little hose clamps in here. I got a relay or two in there. I got this brake lube. I got some lock thread locker, some wire nuts, just different odds and ends. But that's pretty much it. It's a wrench drawer. And so then down here, it's where I keep a lot of electrical stuff. I have some jumper wires. Let me kind of zoom y'all in here a little more. Okay, so I got some jumpers in here. Keep a can of WD-40 in here. I got a little driver bit kit for my drill. I got some extra little drill bits in here. I keep a pocket knife here. This is Gerber Kershaw. I'm sorry, it's a Kershaw. I think it's just a Kershaw Cryo. Tire patches or plugs. AC refrigerant hose, recharger hose, some nylon zip ties, battery terminal cleaner, a couple wire brushes for the drill. I got a packet Harbor Freight epoxy. I have a little test light in here, and I got like a nice little assortment of bolts in here, metric and a few standards. And some more wire, stuff like that. Nice roll of electric tape. And this is just cheap electric tape. I usually keep a roll of Super 33, but I don't have one in here right now. I used it all. And this is just different sorted light bulbs, fuses, heat shrink, just all kinds of different fuses that I've stolen from the junkyard and stuff, some O-rings, different kinds of butt connectors and stuff. Just kind of my electrical repair kit, and down on the bottom here is also where I keep some more drill bits. But that's pretty much it. I got some extra bits to put on the drill driver there if I need them. And then also in this box up here I have the 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch adapter for my Ryobi impact driver, and you can get quite a bit of stuff loose with that impact driver. It works really well. So that's kind of what I keep loaded out in my car for doing mobile mechanicing, and I can get quite a bit done. I can work mostly off of that power inverter. A lot of times if I'm in somebody's driveway, I'll see if I can bring a fan and stretch an extension cord out. Have a little cool air as well. So my inverter is not big enough to run a fan. And you wouldn't want to run something that big for very long anyway, because your battery would be dead. But that's what I do. Alright, so that's kind of my loadout. The other thing you're going to want is a nice little cooler. Keep some cold pops in, or whatever your drink of choice is. I drink Diet Green Fizzy Soda. But that's just kind of how I do things. Some things to keep in mind about mobile mechanicing is there's a limit to what tools you're going to have. I don't have any half-inch drive stuff normally. I don't have any ability to have a cutoff wheel. I don't have any kind of torches. So if I get into a situation where I need to cut something off, I can't do it out in the field. I'm going to need it to come back. I don't have an air compressor. I do bring an electric impact if I think I'm going to need it. My impact lug nut socket set from Sears. Bring that with me. Little flip socket set. So if I know I'm going to need to take wheels off, I'll throw that in the back. The other thing is that you have to stay very organized. It's really easy when you're working out of a confined space, a toolbox like this, you just have stuff everywhere. You have to make sure that as you leave each site that you've gone through every drawer in your toolbox and really have accounted for everything. Because if you leave a tool at the shop is the customer's driveway. You're probably not ever soon to see that tool again. It's not like your own garage where you find it a couple days later. And it's not like when you're working out of your own garage, you're like, I'm tired, this thing's done. Close the door, I'll clean it up tomorrow. You got to clean it up as you go. The other things that I'll bring with me if I think I'm going to need them is going to be a drop pan, things like that. But I try not to get into too many oil changes and stuff, but sometimes say you're changing the axle, you're going to lose a little fluid. I want to get some of those pig towel things that I can just throw down those absorbable mats. But basically, it's like keeping organized in between every job, making sure you keep the invoicing straight. So what I do a lot of times, I get finished with the job, I go sit in my car, start the air conditioning, leave the tools unpacked, do the invoice in Excel, work up the total, get the money from the customer, and then come back out after I've cooled down, had a cold soda, and pack up all the tools and clean everything up and leave. And just kind of give everything a once over, and then I pack up and move on to the next job. You're going to have that wrap up time when you're working mobile mechanic in between jobs, or in between the last job and home. The more you stay organized, the smoother the whole experience is going to go for you. That's just my thoughts. I'm not like a professional mobile mechanic. I just do it for a little side money. I have a bunch of snap-on tools, but I have the tools I need to generally get the job done. And generally, if you're out there and you're like, man, I really need this other tool, you're just going to have to think about it and work something out to get that bolt loose if you can. I don't have any of my old tools with me. I don't have turbo sockets with me, bolt outs, extractors. That's all stuff I can run back and get. I don't normally carry axle nut sockets, even if I have my impact. But if I'm close enough, I can run back and get mine. If not, I can do a free loaner tool at the nearest auto parts store and get some. So, just some things to think about. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Free Will Prepper.